Oh, there's a lot of space in here to work with. All right, I'm a little bit too excited about this because, as you know by now, I'm a master at making pizzas all of a sudden because practice makes perfect. I have a nice, decent 13-inch pizza oven that goes on a stovetop. It's been working wonders, but it doesn't get as hot as I want. It maxes out at about 500 degrees on my electric stove. But this one right here, we got the Stoke 13-inch gas pizza oven that actually uses propane to heat up in about 15 minutes to about 900 degrees Fahrenheit, so you can get that nice pizza in about 2 minutes flat. The good news about having a propane tank, which I've never actually used, but I have assistants here, so we'll figure that out because I'm kind of scared. Never used it before. You guys think it's easy? You guys are probably laughing at me right now, huh? Smash that like button if you're laughing. But the good news about this whole pizza oven is it comes with a nice carrying bag so you can actually take it with you where you go, because you can actually have perfect pizzas with the maximum heat possible anywhere, because you can just take a propane tank, your pizza oven, your pizza dough, your ingredients, have pizza anywhere, tailgating, backyard parties, camping, and just in your backyard in general, anywhere you want, it's pizza time all the time. Now the bad news about this is that this is the 13-inch model, which if you're doing the math, that's the same size as the one I have in my stovetop at home. So the problem with that is I want the bigger one, I want the 16-incher. So any companies out there, I'm your guy if you want to send me a 16-incher. But with that being said, this is looking like it's gonna be amazing and take my pizza making to the next level, which I feel like is the max level you can go once you get it up to about 1,000 degrees. So let's get inside this box and see what we got. Oh man. Inside the box I have a user manual along with some tools to get you going. The carrying bag that's going to allow you to take this thing on the go with you, whether you're tailgating or any of the other stuff I mentioned earlier. Let's go. Okay, it goes this way. Oh, it doesn't actually like zip shut or anything. That's interesting. It just clamps shut with this. All right. Why is the logo upside down though? Am I missing something? Wait, you hold it this way? But it goes under. Oh, I guess it goes on top. Yeah, so it looks like this actually just goes on top of the oven, clamps shut on the bottom, and you can actually carry it. So that's actually probably the easier way to go now that I think about it. And then right here, ooh, this is looking nice. We got the pizza oven, which I guess I have to dump out. Yeah. So this thing so far is feeling very solid. So already this thing is feeling very solid. I guess it's a solid piece of metal right here. It's got a lot of weight to it. Like, this thing is actually pretty heavy for being portable, but that's a good thing. We got quality here. Got a lot of goodies inside. Oh, metal grate right here. It's looking pretty nice. Oh, so here's the, what's this called for the propane? The valve or the hose or? So right here we actually have the valve for the propane tank along with the hose to get it heated up. Oh, and it did actually come with a thermometer too, all the way up to 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit, so you can actually track how hot it gets. The valve is looking like a valve, I think. I've never really used one or seen one before, but I think this is right. And then in here, what is this? Oh, this must be the heating source. Oh yeah, right here on the back we actually have the temperature gauge to ignite it as well as heat it up and bring the heat down. Off, on, and a heart. Not sure what that's supposed to mean, but I guess this is gonna just flame up somehow. That's pretty cool. See, this is all new to me, so I have no idea what's going on. And then in here, of course, we have the 13-inch pizza stone. Perfect, not damaged whatsoever, because that would have totally sucked. All right, looking very clean, very nice for now. It's gonna get dirty once we start cooking with it. All right, so it looks like we have all the pieces here. We have the pizza oven itself, the heating source. Where'd all the valve go? The valve, the thermometer, as well as the pizza stone. And they say you should be able to actually get this set up in about 5 minutes. Wait, there's no legs? Where are the legs? Where are the legs? Either way, we're gonna see if we can get this set up in about 5 minutes and get to cooking pizza, because I'm ready to try out some 1,000-degree pizza. Yeah, there's legs in the picture. Well, where are the legs at? Wait, are they like folded in or something on the bottom? No, they go right here. Oh, okay. Yeah. So the legs actually fold out so it's easily portable. So that's actually very cool. I was like, they skipped me on the legs. That would have sucked. So now we can have it elevated up. Ooh. Oh, this is looking really professional. It's definitely pizza time. This goes on the back somewhere. So yeah, I'll probably start needing some help. Is it a good idea to cut this, or should I use scissors so I don't cut the pipe?
If you cut it, go out that way.
This is the sharp part? Or?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So just go in and pull it.
Should I look at the instructions, or do you think this is straightforward?
That's pretty straightforward.
So it should have the body, the board, thermometer, and the burner. I mean, this is really small, so it looks like it's very simple. Step 1, unfold the legs, done. Step 2, lay the pizza oven flat on the table, done. See, I'm way ahead of this, it's really easy. Step 3, assemble the thermometer to the oven body. So, see, you gotta look a little further than your nose. So shove it in there, get it straight, and then just put the little nut on. All right, we're good to go. Easy. Okay, next. Step 4, put the ceramic backing sheet into the oven body. Okay. Which side do I like better? Probably this side. So this is different from the one that I have on the stove top. It's actually elevated up a bit. I guess that's to keep more heat going through and surrounding it. Looks like there's actually more room than the actual cooking stone. So you could theoretically put a slightly bigger one, but it does make it a lot easier to clean and take out. And the other one, I have to prop it up if I drop something and it starts a fire. This is a lot easier. Step 5, install the burner behind the oven. Wait, is this the igniter or something? So I just leave this how it is?
Yeah.
See, this seems dangerous. So it looks like we just slide this in here. Oh, and it's gonna hang out. So we definitely do need those screws that came with. See, this is a hard job, guys. You guys think this is easy? Ah, the sun's going down. We got some perfect weather out here. It literally feels like pizza time. This isn't that long. So the propane has to be like right next to it or what? I thought it would go down to the floor. All right, so we're gonna attach it to the propane tank now. I'm not sure how to do this, so.
Tighten it up. Nice and tight. And turn it on.
All right, so up here too, make sure that's attached to the igniter.
Tight.
So now it's on? Just like that.
What
So,
you gotta do now is just turn this on.
so off, on, and then there's a heart. So I don't know what the heart is. Well, there it goes. Oh, come here, take a look at this. We have live fire inside. It might be a little bit hard to see, but the fire is definitely going up there in the back. It's already getting pretty hot. This is actually pretty impressive. Would you look at that? It is already passing 300 degrees Fahrenheit. This is insane. The other one took like 30 minutes to an hour to get to 500. This thing's already up there. Who would have thought? This is the way to go. Okay, so here you should be able to adjust the heat. Yeah, so this doesn't really say anything about how to actually use it. So I guess it's similar to just using a regular grill. If you know how to use that, you should be able to use this. Wow, it's already at 500 degrees Fahrenheit. That's insane. So that was, what, like 20 seconds? Maybe it's way faster than 15 minutes. I don't know.
There's not a cover or anything?
Oh yeah, there's no lid here, just like on most pizza ovens. Some of them do come with lids now, but they don't. So you might have to actually turn the pizza at least once to cook both sides evenly, because the back, of course, is going to be the hottest part since that's where all the fire is. Oh yeah, but technically, remember, the whole thing is 500 degrees, but the pizza stone does take a little bit of time to actually heat up, so you do have to let it run for maybe 10 to 15 minutes. Oh, I see. This one's just to ignite it?
Yeah.
And then on the bottom part,
That's your temperature.
you turn it more to turn it down and max it out right here. So of course, at first you're gonna have it maxed out, but then when you go to cook it, you might wanna turn it down a little bit while it cooks. So that way the stone's hot, but it doesn't cook the rest and burn it too fast. So looks like we got it all set up. I don't know why I turned it off, but we're gonna go get the pizzas ready, see if we can make them magic here. Ugh. See if we can make some magic here, and hopefully it tastes better than using the other one. I mean, it's hotter. I think that's how it works, right? As you can see, that fire is burning. The back's turning red. It's so hot. And the temperature is already at 800 degrees. You can feel the heat coming out of all the vents, coming out the bottom, inside. Put your hand in here. You're not gonna last too long. Oh, the top's on fire. Is that what you're talking about? I didn't even see that. That's pretty intense. Man. All right, so now it's time to build our pies. We got the dough here. I don't know why there's a hole in it. Did you play with this? Oh, it's really soft. This might not be perfectly round because I just distorted it. Make sure the dough's up to room temperature when you do this so it's easier to work with. Remember, always keep some in the middle because you can't get that back. You see, I could be making a much bigger pizza if I had a 16-incher. All right, this is a 13-inch paddle, so that's basically a 13-inch pizza right here. So this is the paddle we're actually gonna put the pizza in the oven with, coat it up with some cornmeal so it doesn't stick. And basically move our dough right here. As you can see, it's not sticking, at least yet. So make sure you do that again after. But as you can see, 13-inch pizza. All right, so now it's time to make our amazing pizza pie. Let's get some sauce. You don't want to overload it because then it causes stuff to stick and it gets too heavy. Unless you want to, but it's gonna be a bit of a challenge. Get it spread nice and evenly. Remember, this is a pretty thin crust, so too much sauce is gonna start falling through. And plus, there's this one thing, if you have too much sauce, it gets too wet, and then there's like this kind of raw dough filling between the crunchiness from the stone and the actual pizza. Like, it's not a good feeling. We're gonna put on some Parmesan cheese. I like to put it right here underneath the rest of the stuff. That way it's just in here. Throw some basil. It's always good to put all the seasonings on here so that way it doesn't get burnt in the pizza oven. Along with some Italian seasoning, garlic powder, and of course you can't go without some oregano. And now what I like to do is actually put some onions with the sauce, so it's gonna be underneath of the cheese. Some jalapenos to get some spiciness. And then we're gonna top it with some freshly grated whole milk mozzarella. And then of course on top, load it up with some pepperoni. Oh, it looks magnificent. All right, so we have it heating up. It's been going for about 20 minutes or so. The temperature maxed out at about 900 degrees Fahrenheit up here. So it looks like at the front of the stone, we're at about 300 degrees Fahrenheit. Toward the middle, 500 degrees, and then toward the back, ooh, pushing 700 degrees Fahrenheit. If we take a look at the actual fire, 900 degrees Fahrenheit, and at the top, ooh, pushing 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. So this thing is definitely hot and ready to go. Now if we come over to my little table or everything, we have our pizza ready to go on our wooden paddle. I always like to use the wooden paddle to build the pizza because it doesn't stick as much. Make sure you have, it looks like it's sticking a little bit, so we're gonna need a little bit more cornmeal right here, but you wanna make sure you shake it so it goes in nice and smooth because you're gonna have a bad time, trust me, if it gets stuck. Then right here, we have the turning paddle. So it's gonna be great to stick it in and turn it without burning your hands. And then this one I like to use to take it out because it's really thin, really smooth, and just goes right underneath that pizza dough without cutting anything. And then of course, speaking of cutting, right here, Viking status with my nice pizza axe. This thing's looking nice, right? We're doing it the right way tonight. All right, so always before you stick the pizza in, give it a little shake, make sure it's not stuck. If it is stuck, like right here, grab some more cornmeal. You can never use too much. Just toss it under. Make sure it's between it, and as you can see, it's shaking. This side looks like it needs a little bit more. Just toss that in. And now we're completely loose and we're ready to go. So what we're gonna do now, I've never done this, we're gonna do a 100% live, uncut cook to see how fast this thing can cook. It's supposed to be about a minute or two. Might have to turn it once or twice, but let's see. We're ready to go. First time. It's always exciting with the first bake. Oh, there's a lot of space in here to work with. I went a little bit far back on that, but it looks perfect. One of the good things I like about this compared to my other one is in the back, there's actually that little wall there. And in the other one that I have for the stove, it's open there. So if you go too far, the crust can fall in there, start burning, start a fire. It's a nightmare. So this one, I'm liking a lot better so far. Let's take a look at this. Is it rising yet? Is it cooking? I can hear some sizzle. Some of that cheese fell, look at that, it's melting. Ooh, the crust is beginning to rise. Now we did leave the heat maxed out. They do recommend you might want to turn it down a bit so it doesn't burn the pizza, but you know, we'll trial and error this. Oh, the back right there, it's popping up. Looking good. So the back's definitely cooking a lot faster than the front as expected. But I feel like we might want to turn down the heat a bit because the back's gonna start burning. So I have it down about halfway right now. And it's been in there for what, like a minute or so now? And that might be a little bit long, so we might want to start checking it out. Getting underneath of this. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's really soft in the front though. Ooh. Try to rotate it here. It's actually a bit softer than when I cooked it on my other oven. But as you can see, the back did burn because of that intense heat. So actually, you might not want to put it too far back, because if it's touching that, it's definitely going to burn. So maybe bring it a little bit more toward the front. And we might want to bring the heat down. Maybe that's what the heart is, bring it all the way down so it just has heat, but it's already hot inside. At least that's what I'm assuming. It didn't come with any instructions regarding how to actually use it. But the cheese is bubbling. I mean, it's looking good other than that burnt spot. Oh, the temperature did drop to right over 800 degrees now that I brought it down to the heart. I'm sure it's still hot in here, right? Oh yeah, it's still hot. Oh, the cheese is bubbling up. It's looking good. Take a look at the crust on the bottom, see if that's cooking. It's not, I don't know, it's not cooking as much as the other one. Maybe we need to heat it longer for the stone. I mean, the bottom's like really soft. So I mean, the pizza looks like it's probably done, but I'm a little bit concerned with the crispiness of the crust. It's not really, I mean, it's browning a little bit, but it's going a lot slower than I was expecting. Maybe I need to bring the heat back up. Does that make sense? I'm not gonna burn it again. But the heat is blaring. Oh, and the cheese is going crazy. I mean, it's still pretty soft. And I think it's getting too hot again, so we have to turn it back down. Oh, the smoke's coming out. Huh, I don't know. I mean, we had this heating up for a while. I would think the crust would be getting a little bit crispier on the bottom. But it's like really soft. I mean, yeah, it doesn't have really that much color at all. I guess it depends if you want it to be soft or not. But you don't want it too soft. You guys think it's done? You know whispering doesn't matter, right? When there's a microphone right next to you. You think it's raw? I mean, I don't think it's raw.
Didn't it cook for like 5 minutes anyway?
Well, at 1,000 degrees, it's supposed to be like 2 minutes, they say. I mean, the one in my house cooks for like 4 minutes, and the bottom cooks a lot faster. Like, the top's done. Turn what?
The pizza, turn it, put this in the back.
And the bottom's not doing much.
No, it's not.
I mean, up here the stone's 300 degrees. The back's 300 degrees too, apparently. So the stone's not getting as hot as I would like. It's only at 300 degrees. Maybe you actually have to keep this on for like an hour, but that kind of defeats the purpose of this. They say you can do it in 15 minutes. And I think the pizza's pretty much done. It's just gonna start burning. What do you think? You think it's done?
Yeah.
Okay, let's try this out. Let's take it out, see what we got. See, it's a lot softer. I mean, the pizza's looking good up top. But as far as the crust goes, like there's like no color here.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe I mean, it's not as hot though, so I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it tastes fine. I'm sure it's cooked.
Oh, you turn this on.
But it's on the heart. But I don't know. I mean, it might be good. Let's see. So, yeah, get some So let's grab my pizza axe, and now let's get to cutting. As you can see, cuts right through the pizza. Perfect. It's actually pretty nice. And now we have a slice of pizza here. See, we do have some folds, so if you don't want that, I don't know, I'm not sure how to get the stone hotter without letting it preheat for much longer than we did. Although compared to the stove one I have, that one is a lot faster, but the bottom, there's like no color. I mean, it's looking like a good pizza, but it's really hot. Probably shouldn't bite into it yet. Gotta let it cool down a little bit. All right, so now we let it cool down for a couple minutes. Let's see if this tastes good, even though it's a little bit floppy. You see, it might be a little raw. I don't know if it's necessarily raw, but there's like nothing to it. It's just like bread. You want to have a little bit of color, a little bit of crunch, and I mean, it's tasting all right, but the ones from my stovetop taste better because it's all about the crust. That's where we had it going for a while, full blast while we were making the pizzas. But right now we have it heating up again, and the stone is actually starting to burn. So it looks like it might be getting hotter now. It's 500 degrees back there, 300 in the front. I don't know. Trial and error, I guess, but they said 15 minutes. I don't know, is that raw or not? Or is that just from the sauce?
No, it is.
It's what?
It is raw.
What do you mean it's raw? I'm eating it. You try a piece, see if it's, or should we put it back in or what? All right, so we made another pizza here. This time we had to heat it up, maxed out for a few minutes, letting it heat up. Right before we put the pizza in, dropped it down to minimum heat so it wouldn't cook the top too fast. That way we could cook the bottom a little longer. Now, I mean, it still isn't up to par with what I was expecting, but it is a little more firm than before. So it's better, but still not as good as I was hoping. So I'm a little bit disappointed because the one I have at home that goes on top of the stove, that thing somehow gets the stone up to about 800 degrees. Somehow this one, the max I saw was about 500 degrees. And that's Fahrenheit, not Celsius. So it didn't cook as well. The pizza doesn't taste as good as the one on the stove. I'm not sure why. I think the only way they could fix this is by putting a door so that way the heat gets trapped in there and it'll heat up the stone. But we've had this thing on for over an hour and it's never got past about 500 degrees in the back, 300 in the front. If the fire was a bit lower maybe, but the thing is, they have it elevated here and there's these two little gaps, but there's not that much heat going underneath of there, not that much heat going to the stone. So I'm not sure what went wrong here. I like the design, it looks very solid, very durable, very easy to use. It's just not making the pizzas as well as a stovetop pizza oven, which is kind of concerning. And it tastes all right, but I've definitely had better on my stovetop. Crazy.